Okay, first and foremost, I want to give all honors and praises and glory belongeth to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Wahavakar Kodash. The name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahawashi. And double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that teach us truth well and that continue to teach us truth well, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few brothers and sisters listening and also learning across the globe. Whew. The time we are approaching is going to be a great time of distress upon the masses like never ever ever seen before. Okay, so we're going to start on 2nd Ezra 16, and we're going to jump straight to chapter 16, and we're going to go to verse, where is it? Let's go to verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. And you notice how it says many. So there's only going to be a few that are going to be saved from this impending danger. That's going to be what the 144,000, 1/3, and the 1/3 men, women and children, which we hope to be. So some are going to perish of famine. What's going to cause the famine? The stores being empty, them being rioting, the shelves being completely, all these things are going to happen. It's going to cause famine. What's famine? A lack of food. And the other, that escape the hunger, okay, shall the sword destroy. So you're going to have those that escape the hunger, okay, manage to eat something, but then the sword's going to destroy them. Whether that be a martial law troop, whether it be another pack of hyenas, okay, in the form of men, a gang killing them, and these gangs are going to turn on each other. All these people are going to turn on each other. Why? Because this is prophecy. This was spoken of. Okay? Bear me just a minute. This is Amos 5. And the right one. Amos 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahawashi. Okay? Especially you Christians. Okay, that claim to be worshipping him, but you're not. You're not worshipping Yahawashi in truth, in sincerity. You're doing what you want to do. So why are you going to desire the day of the Lord if you're not doing what he says? To what end is it? To what end is it for you? So what end is it for you? What good is it going to be for you out of that? Seeing you want to do your own thing. The day of the Lord Yahawashi is darkness and not light. What's another word for darkness? Obscurity. Okay. Bad times. Okay. So it's going to be a great time of darkness. Okay. And not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him. So when it says flee from a lion, it's not so much talking about a physical lion. That's not going to happen, because you're going to have animals that are going to be out of the zoos attacking. But this is not speaking about a lion. This is a parabolic sense speaking of particular calamities that are going to happen. So if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, and he went into his house and laid his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. So in other words, you flee from one type of disaster and you fall into another, like that bear, and went into a house, and this represents a sense of comfort, getting away from danger, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Okay, so just when you think you're safe, that's when your demise will end up happening. This is what's going to happen, not just to these other nations. 2/3 of our nation, this is going to happen. Okay, shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and no brightness in it, and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So it's going to be a very dark, gloomy time. Let's go back to where we were. And these are the things we think upon, because we want to be worthy to escape that wrath that Yahawashi is bringing upon this earth. Okay? Let's go to 2nd Ezra 16, and we're going to go straight to You're on 22. 23. And the dead shall be cast out like dung, which is like shit. So there's going to be bodies everywhere. Ambulances, they're going to be, look, there's going to be no ambulance services. All these services are going to be done. The people that were police, they're going to be throwing in their police, handing in their police badge. Take off that uniform. So the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. You ain't going to have no funerals. There ain't going to be no time for mourning. You're going to have to move on. Okay? It's going to be horrible out here. Yeah, your loved ones. Most of your loved ones are going to die. Most of your family members are going to... This is what you got to prepare your mind for. And this is what your house is preparing us for now. That's why we're going through what we're going through. So we can be mentally strong. Because if you're not mentally strong now, how you gonna make it when a little bit of hell comes upon you? Here it is, your house is chastising us. But how are you going to deal with it when your loved ones die and you see people dying and left, right and centre? How are you going to deal with it? That's why Yahushua is putting us through what we need to go through now. Okay? So we be not judged with this world. This is very serious. This ain't just me just reading it. You got to envision this. This is about what's about to happen. People are comfortable. People are going back to the pubs, going back to the restaurants, going back shopping, getting their trainers, doing this, buying that, concerned with their career. All that's not gonna mean anything when all this breaks loose, when all this hell breaks loose. The only thing that's gonna stand is faith. Faith is gonna be the commodity. So if you're putting all your love into this world, then you're already, you've already lost. Faith is gonna be the most precious thing. And you're gonna when that time happens, you're of the hopeful elect. You're gonna be happy that you done all the things that you were doing and the chastisement you caught. Okay? So this shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted. Okay? And the city shall be cast down by what? The people. There's going to be fighting, going to be rioting, there's going to be fires everywhere. Petrol bombs, you name it. Bloodshed, fighting, you're going to see it on every single side. Okay? There shall be no man to live to till the earth and to sow it. Okay? Reap the fruit. You ain't going to have no one, what do you call it? Husbandry. Most people are going to be gone. So if that means there's going to be no food in the stores. Okay? The tree shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? And the grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? So it's also a good thing for some of these bushes, because things are going to grow back to its normal state. The earth's going to go back to its normal state. For all the places shall be desolate of men. Why is the place going to be desolate? Because most of the men are going to be dead. So that one man shall desire to see another. Hold on a minute. In cities, what, you've got thousands upon thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people in cities. And it says one man shall desire to see another. So if one man shall desire to see another, where are all these people that are supposed to be in the cities? They're gone. They're dead. And to hear his voice, for of a city there shall be 10 left. And that's a whole city, only 10 people. And 2 of a field. And you definitely know this is applying to what? The elect, because the elect got to be up in there, because the elect are not just going to be what? Dead. You're going to have some of the elects that are not going to taste of death. Okay? And 2 of a field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves, the forest, the woods, and in the clefts of the rocks, these buildings, as in the orchard of the olives, upon every tree. Okay, they are left 3 or 4 olives. So it's this liken it that when you see an olive tree, it's a big olive tree, but you only see 3 or 4 olives on that tree. That's how this is going to be likened unto people in a city. Only a few. As a vineyard is gathered, then are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. So it's going to be so bad out here. Even houses are going to be searched for food, and all you're going to see is dead bodies. Nobody's going to be inhabiting these houses. This is what you've got to envision. This is what's going to happen. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with a sword. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel there through. So the land's going to definitely grow again. You know, definitely going to get them land Sabbaths. But that's not going to matter anyway, because the land Sabbath, that's not going to be needed. Why? Because that land of America is going to be destroyed. But it's going to be certain parts of Europe and different parts of the world where are not going to be fully destroyed. And what? There's going to be what? Everything's going to grow back to its natural state. Because right now, you can't even enjoy what your land Sabbaths. You got Esau, what? You don't let the land grow for 6 or 7 years. So that's everything's gonna go back to its normal ways. Okay? This is real. This is real. So now let's go into Zephaniah 1 and 17. Still individuals taking this for a joke. Vainglory. That's what I'm saying. Vainglory, all that stuff. All that deceit. What's the need for it? If you really fear Yahweh Shai, you're going to fear him in trembling. You're going to do what's right in his eyes. You're going to serve him. Because you want to be protected from these things I'm reading. I want to be protected from these things I'm reading. You know? And that comes through what? Fear. If you don't have the fear, I guess you're going to be doing what you want. And when these things come, you're going to be... You've got men that are even shook up right now. You've got men that don't know how to act right now. Why? Because they were messing about. They were never sincere. They were taking this for a joke. But look what we got going on. So-called vaccines. So lockdowns across the world, different parts of the world. All these things were spoken of, and now it's came to pass. And certain men, they don't know how to act. A lot of men, a lot of you need to change up how you are thinking now. Okay? A lot of you need to reassess your thoughts, especially with certain men that you thought weren't men of the Lord. A lot of you need to rethink certain stuff now. Nobody wants to get serious until it hits home. Let's go to Zephaniah 1 and 17. Start at 14. The great day of the Lord Jehovah is near. It is near. Okay? And it hasteth greatly. That's why Apostle Elder Tahar coined this year. Okay? The day 2021. The day of the Lord. Hastening the day of the Lord Jehovah Yahushai. And hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Jehovah, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Bitterly. What was it to cry bitterly? Not just crying, bitterly. Let's quickly go up to that word. Bitterly, mournfully, painfully. Well, lament. A loud wail over the dead. That's why it says bitterly. Why are people going to be crying bitterly? Because all their loved ones are going to be dead. So these people you see in your everyday life, who you walk past, who you go to work with, and so forth, these people are not going to make it. This is what you have to get in your head. Okay? Everybody around you, you may see on a daily basis, they're not going to make it. The people you grew up with in the world, they're not going to make it. Get this through your head. Even some family members, they're not going to make it. Lord willing, if you're doing this work, obviously you want that hedge for your family, but you always got to think of these things. Okay? That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble. Okay? Of distress. Okay? So if someone's distressed, what are they? They're bugging out. They don't know what's happening. A day of wasteness, a day of desolation, a day of what? Darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Okay? And that's literally and spiritually. Okay? Okay? Bear me just a minute. Quickly get this up. And when we go into that word darkness, let's quickly go type in this word darkness. Afal. Bear me just a minute. Afal. Darkness, obscurity. And it is, people are going to be in obscurity, because remember what it says in Amos 8 and 11, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh Yahushua, but they shall not find it. So people are going to be in obscurity. Outline biblical issue, darkness, gloom, spiritual, listen up to this, spiritual unreceptivity. And who's that referring to? The 2/3, and they are spiritually unreceptive. What does it mean to be unreceptive? That means it goes in one ear and out the other. They cannot attain what's being said. Receptive means well, you can retain what's being said. You're very receptive. You can understand. The 2/3. What did it say in Matthew 13 and 10? It talks about when the disciples were asking, why you speak to those in parables? And he said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so lucky about excuse me. So lucky about my stuttering. Okay, because it was given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. It's not given to everybody. So 2/3, they're spiritually unreceptive to what's going on. Okay, calamities. These all the words for darkness. Okay, a metaphor of misery, misfortune. Also a place of ambush. So this is what's going to happen. Go back on Zephaniah. A day of a trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities, and we're blowing that alarm and against the high towers, and I will bring distress upon men, panic. Okay, and the scriptures tell you, warns our people in Proverbs 1 and 20, because I called and no man regarded, therefore I shall bring your own what? Destruction upon you, as a whirlwind. That they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shai. When it says they shall walk like blind men, what does that mean? They're not going to know what's happening. Remember, spiritually unreceptive. Excuse me. Okay. They shall walk like blind men. And it says like blind men. It doesn't mean they're going to be so much blind. They're going to have eyes, but they're not going to know why these things are happening. I remember Isaiah 33 and 6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. But again, when wisdom and knowledge, who is it going to be stability to? To those that have faith. If you don't have faith, then everything you've learned, it's not going to mean nothing. It's not going to mean anything, because you don't believe in it. You don't believe in these words. So this is what it's going to come down to. When we're put in these scenarios, certain situations, the scriptures are going to have to come into remembrance. And not just that, you're going to have to believe on what you learnt, what we learnt. That's what it's going to come down to. Okay? Because a man could say, oh, you know, learn all these scriptures, but as soon as the scenario plays out, the scriptures go out the window. And that's why we've got to pray as well. To be firm, stronger mental fortitude, all these things, endurance. These are some of the most important things to pray for. Okay? And they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh Shai. Speaking about our people, 2/3. And when it says they have sinned against the Lord, you may be thinking, well, hold on a minute. That must mean all Israel was going to walk like blind men, because we've all sinned. No. When it says for they have sinned against the Lord, they never repented of their sins. Their sins were imputed upon them. Therefore what? They were still in their transgression. And that's why the scriptures tell you in Matthew 13 and 10, lest they should see, and their eyes be opened, and they shall be converted, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. As we also read that in 2 Ezra 16. Going to be dead bodies everywhere. Neither shall their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, the land of Babylon, America. For he will make a speedy riddance, which means quick, of all them that dwell in that land. Okay? But guess what? The elect, they're going to be looked after. As it says in Psalms, 91, I think we shut off on that. Okay? Let's go to Psalm 91, Baba Kashar. This is Psalms 91. And start at 8. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. So the elect are going to see the reward of the wicked when Yahushua comes back. Okay? And that correlates with Revelations, 15 and 16. Those that will stand up on the firmament, watching that destruction. Because thou hast made the Lord Yahweh Shai, which is my refuge. This is the importance of making Yahweh Shai our refuge. Okay? That's the importance of it. And what's part of making, see, are you doing that now? Because right, this is what's supposed to be making him Yahweh Shai our refuge now. Not a month down the line, not 2 months down the line, you're holding it. The scriptures putting it off the day, putting it off Yahweh Shai from day to day. For the wrath of the Lord shall come upon you suddenly. So those that have made Yahushua their refuge, since they came into the truth, they're going to be the ones that are looked after. Those that haven't made Yahushua their refuge, but made the world their refuge, they're not going to be looked after. They're going to die these grievous deaths that I've been speaking of. Even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, come upon thee, neither shall any plague come nigh their dwelling. What's that plague? The different calamities, the different destructions. What are known as plagues, which the angels are going to send. Why? For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. And I believe every brother in this truth has an angel appointed to them to look after them, to keep them in that way. And that's why you want to stay abiding in the truth. Because the moment you fall out of the truth, that angel is no longer by you. The moment you fall out of the truth and you stop caring about the truth, there's an angel by you, a death angel. So we want to be on the right side of Yahushua when this all breaks loose. Okay, Esau's giving you that false narrative on the news, this and that, go back to normal. Things ain't going back to normal. Things are only going to get worse. Okay, so with this lesson, I hope this was edifying, and until the next time, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.